Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. It is the Fierce Women Lead Video Challenge. I realized today that I did not give you guys a prompt. So I think Louisa went ahead and posted. She gave a fabulous video tip today, actually 3 of them. So if you've not seen her video, please watch it and support those that are giving their value and sharing with us to teach us. I'm hoping today that we can get some questions answered. And the tips have been amazing. I have enjoyed them. I'm learning. I am boosting my own Pinterest. I am trying to spread my wings on many platforms that are online right now. And the reason I'm able to do it is because so many of you have been so great about sharing your tips. And while we try to sometimes incorporate tips, it's important to give yourselves grace also and know that, you know, it's not always easy to, hey, is that Brenda? Hey, Brenda! It's not always easy to, take a tip and incorporate. So if you're watching the tips in the group and you are frustrated or you're confused or you don't understand or it's hard or, challenging, just understand that you give yourself grace, do the best that you can, take what you are able to take at the time and do that. And for some of you, that may be a very, very simple step of opening a Pinterest account or working on your Instagram page or fine-tuning a message on Facebook. Wherever you are, try to take something from the tip and implement. And the faster that you can implement, the better you get at really the actionable steps that are necessary to grow. And everybody's at a different stage. You can't open and start a YouTube channel if you're terrified of doing a video. So be honest with yourselves about where you are, what you're ready for, what you can take, what you need to leave, and focus on those tips that will help you that day. For some of you, it might be, well, you all can tell me what it is and how you're doing, but we're all in a different place. We're all here trying to make a difference in our businesses, with our personal. It's like, health and nutrition, we're trying to do this. We're trying to drink water. We're trying to walk. We're trying to, all of these things. And it is a balancing act. And some days I think to myself, gosh, I got all that done. And how did I do all that? Well, a lot of it is the fact that I'm in a place where I'm sort of ready to start pushing a lot more. And we have to kind of be ready where we are to do what we can and to give ourselves grace around the rest of it, right? So who's here? Because I can't see a darn thing. Ellie Jean is here. Hey, Small Steps. Hey, Billy. Hey, Michelle. Yeah, and I think sometimes, and I know we do compare, and I know Louisa mentioned that, you cannot compare what someone else is doing and say, well, she's got this going on, and why don't I have that going on? It's natural for all of us to, somebody said a quote once, and it was, look, but don't stare. We do need to be observant about what's going on, just because I think you want to know what things are trending. You want to stay in the know. But when we get into, constantly staring at what other people are doing, and then that gives us the paralysis, and then we can't do what we need to do. We're all different. Everybody's at a different stage. Everybody's walking a different walk. Everybody's goals are different. It's really almost impossible to really compare yourself to anybody, and it's just, you really cannot do it. So if you find yourself doing that, you need to stop that. You just need to stop. If that is difficult for you and you find that to be a pattern in your life, that you're constantly comparing, I would ask you to take some time and think about why that is. Now, I know I have talked to some people whose parents have raised them that way, where they heard comparisons their whole life. You know, well, Joey's doing this and Susie's doing this, and why aren't you doing that? And so it instills this sort of comparing kind of thing. But we really have to get a hold of that. You really do. So who has any questions? How are things going for you in the sharing value? Collaborate, don't compare. Yep. Well, collaboration, and I'd love to hear some questions. So if you're dealing with something that you're finding frustrating, or you need some support, let's get you some support today and get the question answered, so we can help you. Collaboration really comes with an understanding and a confidence about who you are and what you have to offer. And I think collaboration does speak to, you know, being confident and able to share and not compare yourselves, and knowing that you have a value separate from the other person, and that value may overlap somewhere, and figuring out where that is. So I think women are getting better at collaboration, but there's all kinds of these DNA wirings in the human female species that I think are keeping us from a lot of that. So, you know, one of my daughters started playing volleyball, and I was telling my husband that I love the team sport in volleyball. Any kind of team, anything that we can get our girls into at a very young age is very important, because it teaches them that they are part of the whole, and that they win together, they lose together, and each of them is dependent on the other. It's just been amazing to see. Okay, question. How do we respond when somebody questions our business model or tries to tell us how to run our business? Someone who may see themselves as a competitor. Somebody who sees themselves as a competitor is trying to tell you how to run your business. So I'm assuming, Michelle, that person is also a photographer, I would think. Answer that for me. I am soft and fuzzy today. God, it's cold here. Ooh, honey. It is freezing cold, but it is warm and fuzzy, yes. Yes, I look but never want to acquire somebody else's essence. I may make my own decision about everything in my life now. Those people out there acting like polling their audience about every decision in their biz like I do. You guys, I'm in a mother's group. I told Michelle this. We had this conversation. I'm in a mother's group, and I'm not kidding you. These women ask whether they should put celery or carrots in their children's lunches. And it's like, guys, I think you can decide and be empowered and decide whether or not you need to put celery or carrots in your children's lunches. Do not get me started. I digress, but you brought this up. Okay, Michelle. Okay, so photographers who are questioning your business. Well, there's a couple things there. As long as you're sort of up on the fact that this is happening, you know, depending on my mood, I might play with it a little bit and just kind of hear them out. If you feel like they're giving you unsolicited advice, I would ask yourself why they feel that they can give you unsolicited advice. That's a boundary. I think that's an energy that you either project or not. You know, there are some people that we all feel we can say anything to. Like, we have no regard. We don't stop and think, you know, should I really be saying that to her? And I know I've been guilty of this in my life. And some people really put out an energy that opens others up to that kind of thing, especially other women. So my thing for you would be, is this something that shows up in your life a lot? Are people constantly telling you, you know, butting in where they don't belong? Do you open up that conversation? Why are they butting into your business? Now, if you feel like they are, and maybe they just are nosy, redirect, drop the subject, change the subject. Say thank you so much for your input. Anyway, how are things going? How was that so-and-so you went to last weekend? Change the subject and redirect. Stand in your power and don't let people do to you what you don't like. You know, set a boundary. Be clear. And don't be open to that. You know, if that is a pattern and if people are constantly butting in, there's a reason. There's a reason. You know, if people are walking into your space and they shouldn't be, you're opening that door somewhere and allowing them to come in. So you need to start closing the door, redirect. If you feel like playing with it, go. You know, let them talk and let them ramble on and say, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. How was your last weekend thing at the, you know, and move on. I'm thinking she feels threatened. I don't even know this person. Oh. If you don't really know this person, then I would just say, thank you so much for your input and move along. She probably does feel threatened and that's not your problem. And yeah, move on. I had this happen actually recently. Somebody who I just met went on and on about my business and giving me all this input, and I listened. Okay, great, and that was it. You know, we kind of, yeah. Some people feel like they want to do that for whatever reason. Just move along. I used to allow people to run my life. It didn't feel good. Yes, I stepped into her space, I guess, by posting in a local moms group. Well, there's no her space. She doesn't own the space. I don't own space. You don't own space. Allie doesn't own space. Brenda doesn't own space. You know, there are a lot of very insecure women. I mean, unfortunately, you know, which is why my direction is really going to speak to our young girls, because the fact of the matter is that, again, wired in our DNA is this very competitive thing. Is this insecurity? You know, is this insecurity? Well, you know, how dare you post over here? You know, well, you can post anywhere you want to. Her issue is with her, not with you. So don't let that bother you. Keep posting. I mean, if we all did that, nobody would be able to post. I mean, I'm not the only person that does what I do, and nobody's the only, I mean, there's no our space. You know what I mean? Any other questions? You know, it's hard. It's hard. Being online and being an entrepreneur brings up a lot of things, and being a woman brings up a lot of things, and we're all trying to kind of jiggle in this space of online, you know, this business space, and it is crowded, and you are going to bump into other photographers and other consultants and other web designers and other authors and other, I mean, I'm in a group with, I think there's like 20,000 children's authors in this Facebook group. You know, but it's very collaborative. I don't worry about posting something that I shouldn't. We're definitely in collaboration. There are also men in that group. I do find that when there are men in the group, it takes on a different energy. It really does. You have a different thing going on. They are used to collaborating. They stay out of the emotional. You know, for the most part, they've got their issues too, but you know, they don't get into this. Well, you know, that's emotional stuff that women do. So stay out of that. Don't worry. Stay in your lane. Look, don't stare. We need to be aware. We need to know what's going on in our industries. Listen to what other people are doing, and then go. And don't get too consumed with what other people are doing. Answer your question? I hope so. Smart and sassy, fierce, tell it like it is. I just have to say, since you're coaching, I have found my place in our network marketing family. I'm the keeper of the love net. Oh, yeah, we had a really good, you've really blossomed. That is for sure. That is for sure, and I'm proud of you, Brenda. It is hard to find your way sometimes. And, the thing about social media also is that it's new. It's new for all of us. All of us are learning all of these different ways of being, and this is new for everybody. Having all our stuff displayed and having our videos up and talking online and posting, and this is new for us. This is very, very new. And so we are all kind of trying to figure out. Some of us do it a lot better than others of us do it. Some of us need to do it a lot better. But I'm also, understanding that people are at different places and people are learning, and I try to be patient. You all have no idea how many times, somebody will message me about a post, and they'll say, is this okay to post? And I think, just be patient. But you need to read the guidelines of the rules of the group. You're an entrepreneur, you're grown up, you need to read the group rules. Or they do try to pitch me on their MLM. Not often, but I do get it. Or they spam me the second that I get a friend request. I do get it. I try to be patient. I try to turn it into a learning opportunity. But sometimes some people, they don't care. They don't care. The person that I mentioned in the group the other day, that Sarah and I, that blocked us, I called her out because I got complaints from people in the group that she was friending them, and then she was instantly spamming them with her page and Facebook group membership. And, I called it out and she blocked me. And this type of stuff goes on, and we just have to hang in there. What can I say? Everyone, Alexia is the first person I reached out to years ago, and now I am so much more successful. So now I'm so successful. She helped me with so much. Oh, gosh, Allie, you and I, yeah, Allie and I, we have a thing. I think we have like a girl crush. We've both come a long, long way, and I appreciate you saying that. I really do. Yeah, you saw that too. So just know that wherever you are, it's okay. And it's not easy for any of us, really. I don't know that it is a journey. I don't know that it's easy for anybody. Sometimes I think, oh my gosh, do I have whatever it takes to do this? Do I have it? Your mind will wander to other things. Should I be doing this? Or maybe I'm not making the right decision, or, no matter what it is, it's a journey, it's a process. It's learning habits and skills and staying with it. And we each have to find our way and do our thing and hope, and hope and believe and have faith that it's the right thing. And yes, the energy of our mind wandering, Billy, probably is what you're talking about. And I agree. Life can derail us at times, and I think sometimes it's a test. I've kind of concluded that I believe that it's yes, be kind to ourselves. There are tests and there are things that will come your way to test you, but I do agree with you. Being kind and giving ourselves grace and understanding that it's okay. And this is one of the reasons why I feel like that a collaborative community, is so important, because most of us, I would venture to say 99% of us, do not have a collaborative community of like-minded people surrounding us all the time. I know it because you've told me, and I've experienced it too, which is why building a community has been such a passion of mine. Somebody asked me the other day, I had somebody message me and she said, how do you monetize your group? And I said, well, I don't monetize my group. She said, what do you mean? You don't have funnels and you what? And I said, nope, I don't monetize my group. I said, my group is about community. And I've had sales for my group, but my focus is community. My focus is bringing people together and providing a healthy environment for them to connect and to learn and to grow, because 99.9% of us do not have this in our daily lives. Allie created her community for herself. Yes. We didn't have it. Thank God for social media. Thank God for it, because most of us would be isolated in our hometowns where people just don't get it. That, you know, I talk to people about, well, I've stopped, but when I do, if people say to me, you know, I saw such and such online or whatever, they have no idea. They have no idea that we're integrating this with the, I don't even know, I'm getting into technical jargon, but you know, some of the stuff I go through, I think, my friends have no idea. They could never understand. And so having a place where we can all learn and grow together is so important. We have to have this. And so if for nothing else, it's given us of that. Yeah, you have to recreate the communities. Most of us, and families, forget it. Just don't even go there. If you have a supportive family, wonderful, let them support and cheer, but they are never really going to get it. It's unless you're doing it, you know, you can admire it, and you can compliment it, and you can share it, and you can smile at it and love it, but you really don't get it. You just don't get it, because you're not walking this walk. And so I think that meeting other women and being able to reach out in a private message and say, I need help. Do you have a second? I need an ear. You know, when you've developed those relationships, that is the privilege that you now are afforded, because you are in a give and take, you're in a collaboration. You know, I've done it, and I've had people do it with me. I need you for, can you give me 10 minutes? Let me run this by you. And the next time when I need her, she's there. But that didn't come overnight. It came from building a tremendous amount of trust and mutual affection for one another, and admiration and respect, which is how I live. So true, Alexia. I needed to hear this today. Thank you. Oh, I'm so happy. You are so right. My ex made me think I was crazy. I had no support. Oh, forget it. And God bless them. And God bless the men in the partners. My husband, he tries. But no, he doesn't really get it. So I don't bounce things off of him, because you're bouncing something off of somebody that doesn't understand. So don't do that. Come to your group, come into your community, come into your circles, and my battery's going to go out. And, you know, and find your support within. That is most important. That is most important. Any other questions while I wrap up? That's my rant for the day. I don't know, I didn't really have a direction for today's video. I just kind of went with the heart, which is what I usually always do every day. People ask me what I post. I post what comes to me, and I speak to what comes to me that day, and that's what I did. Any other comments or anything you'd like to share? I love the tips. Keep them coming. There's a purpose to them. There's a reason we share value. It teaches us a skill that is mandatory now on social media. You have to have it. Thank you, Brandy. Yes, you have to have it. So keep the tips coming. Work on it. If you have issues with coming up with what to post, comment, and I'll see if I can give you some direction. Have a wonderful Thursday, rest of the day. I appreciate you all so much. I love everything you bring to the group, and I know that you have a lot of choices out there, and so I'm always happy that you have chosen to spend your time here. We will talk soon, everybody. Bye.